Good morning. This is December the 6th, Wednesday, and we are in BBIS first semester compulsory English class. And last time we were reading the essay Computers and the Pursuit of Happiness. Before I call the presenter, I'd like to spend a few minutes before to talk something that is not taught in the previous class, that was not taught in the previous class. So let me show you that the opposing view on David Rosenberg's essay. Okay, here we have this essay. Let me quickly show you what is there. So, Win F. Martin, in this letter to the editor, writes, in his article, Computers and the Pursuit of Happiness, David Galanter completely misses the key point. So, this is the position, or this is the claim that Win F. Martin makes, right? So he begins by saying that the writer misses the key point. Now look how he explains. For one thing, while it is true, as he writes, that our need for food, shelter, and clothing has not changed significantly. Okay, now this is, while it is true, we call this concession. Concession means a speaker says something, right? And when you respond to what he said, so you accept something as well as you reject something, right? So while giving counter argument, you may accept something or you may, hey, पछाडीको भाइहरु म नेपाली बोल्ने ल तपाईहरु म बाहिर निकाल्दिन्छु ल अहिले मेरो मै अघिबाट मेरो पारा तात्दै गएको छ ल म यति बढी रिसाएँ कि मलाई अंग्रेजी बोल्नै आएन बढी रिस उठेर म नेपाली बोलेको अन क्यामेरा अहिले म गर्दनसम्म मात्र घिसार्दै बाहिर पठाइन्छु ल अनि तपाई त्यहाँ चोकमा ढुङ्गा लिएर बस्नु मलाई हान्नलाई टिचरले एक्सप्लेन गरिरहेछ त के गरिरहेछ त्यहाँ पेटमा बच्चा भइरहेछ कि डेलिभरी गर्न लागेको बच्चा त्यो दुखो पेट कि के भयो कोही आग लागि भयो त्यस्तो बोल्ने नबोल्न नहुने कुनै कुरा टिचरले बुझाउन खोज्छ त सुन्नु पनि पर्यो नि त बलजफ्ती हुन्छ र मैले कोचाउन थोडी सक्छु विद्यार्थी भएपछि कक्षामा आएर सुन्नु पनि तयार हुनु पर्यो नि त सुन्न तयार नभएपछि केही नै बुझ्दैन यो माछा बजार हैन है मेरो क्लास हो यो म कहिलेकाहीँ तपाईले कल्पना गर्न नसक्ने रिसाउँछु है म अचानक वाच गरिरहन्छु बोल्दिन तपाईले टु मच गरौँ म फायर हुन्छ एकचोटि फायर हुन्छु अनि तपाईलाई पनि गाह्रो हुन्छ मलाई पनि गाह्रो हुन्छ त्यसै काम नगर्नुस् है क्लास डिस्टर्ब गर्ने काम नगर्नुस् तपाई यो पाउनुहुन्न चित्त बुझ्दैन प्रिन्सिपलले गएर भन्नुस् म फलाना साल पढ्दिन भन्न पाउनुहुन्छ हैन मेरो विरुद्ध चिठी लेख्न पाउनुहुन्छ तर मेरो क्लास डिसिप्लिन चाहिँ पाउनुहुन्न किन यहाँ पढ्न खोज्ने मान्छे छन् नि त तपाईलाई अब नपढिकन पैसा तिर्नु चाहिँ क्याम्पसमा तिर्नु न मलाई के मेरो के जान्छ र तर कुनै कुरा बुझेर हामीलाई सुन्नु पर्यो नि त सुनेपछि बुझेन भने भन्नु पर्यो, सर मैले मलाई क्लियर भन्नु, फेरि भनिदिन्छु म। त सुन्दै नसुन्ने एक आपसँग गफरेपछि होल क्लास डिस्टर्ब गर्ने। So I was saying, when you talk to somebody, someone speaks something, they say, you listen. Now when you listen, sometimes you accept what they are saying, sometimes you reject. So sometimes you accept everything, 100% you accept. Sometimes you reject 100%. Sometimes 50-50. This is 50-50. While it is true, we call this concession. Conceding your opponent. Conceding your opponent means accepting some of the things that your opponent is saying. That's a good thing in argument. As he writes that our need for food, shelter and clothing has not changed. So he accepts. When F. Martin accepts, दिमागै खराब गर्छ, होल क्लासै बिग्रिन्छ आज। अब पढाउन आएको छ, रिसाउनु पर्ने बिहान बिहानै, म रिसाउनु पर्ने हो भने पैसा उठाएर मैले छुट्टै तलब दिने, यहाँबाट क्याम्पसले मलाई पढाएको तलब दिन्छ, रिसाएको दिँदैन। मेरो हेल्थ कम्प्रोमाइज गरेर तलब दिँदैन कि क्याम्पसले, छुट्टै पैसा उठाउने मलाई पे गर्ने अलग्गै। सर यति पैसा रिसाए बापत दिने मलाई, म रिसाउन आएको होइन नि, र रिसाउनु पर्ने काम चाहिँ नगर्ने। Our need for food, shelter and clothing has not changed significantly because of technology. This is what Galanter says. And this is what Martin accepts. Okay, that's true. Fine. The methods of acquiring these goods certainly have. Now this part. This is Martin's claim. This is Martin's view. He says, okay, this is right, I accept. But you forget that the methods of acquiring these goods have changed. So today you can go online and do shopping online, right? I do not have to hunt for lunch with a spear. Now I don't go to jungle with my knife and bullet and hunt, right? I can get packet food. Rather, it is produced and distributed very efficiently. Look, what has technology done? Technology has made efficient production and efficient distribution with the help of computers. Because today we all know factories are automatic because of computer technology. For another thing, see how we use language. Look here, for one thing. In paragraph 1, for another thing in paragraph 2. We call these as transitions. What is a transition? Transition is a word that helps you to move from one idea to another idea. Transition. So look here, in paragraph 1, he wrote the word for one thing, the phrase for one thing. And he talked about this thing. In paragraph 2, now as he moves paragraph 2, he says for another thing. Now when you read for another thing, you remember that he has already said for one thing. Look, one, another. One, another. So one is related to another, another is related to one. And what does it do? The wonderful thing it does is that it connects the two paragraphs. It connects two paragraphs. It links two paragraphs. And when you connect two paragraphs with words like these transitions, we call this unity and coherence in writing. So such connection between one and another paragraph that we achieve by transitional phrases like for one thing, for another thing, they are known as unity and coherence. And unity and coherence is quality of good writing. If in your writing you can write like this in exam, later on in IELTS, TOEFL or whatever you take, you get better marks. They look for such transitional phrases, words and phrases. Okay. Nobody will teach you such things in any class. So pay attention and try to learn. For another thing, and of far greater importance, the internet extends the very substantial changes in Western civilization brought about by the printing press. If you pay careful attention, Win F. Martin makes claim one by one. First claim is this one he makes. Claim number 1, let's say C1, claim 1. The methods of acquiring these goods have changed. C1, claim 1. This is Martin's position. Now this is C2, claim 2. The internet extends the very substantial changes in Western civilization brought about by the printing press. So you know, Caxton's printing press was the first printing press in the Western civilization in the 15th century. It was called Caxton's printing press, CXTUN. And the printing press, when books were printed, first Bible was printed. So when Bible was printed, people could read on their own at home. They don't need to come to church and they don't need to depend upon the Father. It brought them freedom. So printing press extends the very changes in look. The argument is that the internet extends the changes in Western civilization brought about by printing press. Where does it extend? Around the world. I'll give an example. Some people argue that reels are bad because they promote nudity. People argue that young girls are coming up, women are coming up, they're showing their bodies naked in nudity. I'll disagree. When you look conservative from conservative mind, that looks like nudity. But do you realize TikTok, for example, has given young girls and women a freedom to express themselves. And this freedom to express yourself, some people might think nudity, but do not forget that this also bolsters their confidence. They become outgoing, they become outspoken, they become confident, and now they can strongly defend themselves. Right? They are no more shy. They are no more shy. Now why I am bringing this example? Because nudity is something Western. Nudity is not Eastern thing. We don't allow it. But look, because of internet, that idea of nudity of the Western civilization has come to countries like Nepal and India. So this is the point. Internet extends changes in Western civilization to around the world. The printed word enabled Western civilizations to overthrow monarchical systems. Look, in France there was monarchy, right? And Rousseau wrote a book that is called Confessions. Rousseau wrote a book called Confessions. And it is said that because of that book, there was revolution in France possible. Because of the ideas of the book. So printing press, when books were printed, ideas began to spread. Politicians could use pamphlet. Politicians could use pamphlet and spread their views among people. People could write books and produce ideas, spread ideas, democratic ideas. I give an example how a book by Rousseau, Confessions. If you have some time in long vacations, please read. This is one of the most important books in the world. Confessions by Rousseau. It's a wonderful book to read, right? Read around the world. This brought a revolution in France, and Louis XIV's rule was overturned, right? The monarch system of the government, certainly a sea change in the way we once lived and thought. In our own lifetime, television was the pivotal factor in the overthrow of the Soviet regime. Yes, when there was Gorbachev, I can't spell correctly, Gorbachev was ruling Russia, and the argument here is that when television came, so once you have TV, you can't control flow of ideas because you have international channels. For example, I watch fashion TV. That's from France. If my parents don't like, I'll watch it because it's accessible to me. So what the point is, once television comes, you can't control the flow of ideas. So when TV came, so ideas spread around the world in Russia, and people began to think that Russian communism is dictatorship, and then they fought against their own government. And look, USSR disintegrated, United States of Soviet Russia, USSR. It was called USSR before 1990. And in 1990 there was a revolution in Russia, and it disintegrated. It became more than 20-30 countries today, right? Because of what? Because of ideas spread through television. Was the pivotal factor in the overthrow of the Soviet regime, accomplishing quietly what all America's missiles could not. Today, the internet is challenging China's ability to repress the development of ideas in that culture. Now, this paragraph is problematic. If this essay was in China, they will ban. Because look, it says this is pro-American essay. This is pro-American essay written by American for Americans. We are reading because in a course. Look, so Chinese people don't have Facebook. They have WeChat. They use WeChat, for example. And WeChat is controlled by government. Why they don't use Facebook? Because they think Facebook, America can use mediums like Facebook to topple the political system in China. So they banned it. Even BBC is banned in America, in China, right? So the argument is that he says that maybe in future, because of internet, communist system in China will collapse. So do you see, the writer is democratic and is criticizing communism. You can see clearly. To suggest that a worldwide, there's just some typo, to suggest that a worldwide person-to-person medium will have little or no impact, as Mr. Galanter does, is to be an extreme Luddite. The web holds the potential of increasing our ability to deal with our own government's bureaucratic complex. Now, second claim, or let's say third claim in third paragraph. Very important. Look here. This is his claim. Win F. Martin's claim. What does he say? He says that internet can help people to control their government. Government does something and the news becomes viral within minutes. Ensel. Look, the Ensel Kanda in Nepal. Any idea about Ensel? Any idea? Do you know about what is Ensel Kanda? You don't know. You have no social awareness. I don't know what media you watch. I don't know what news you watch. It is a sad thing to find that people in bachelors have no social awareness. Ensel Kanda बारे थाहा छैन हिजो आजको कुरा? के थाहा छैन? ठिकै छ, थाहा नभए के राम्रो. My point is, or his point is, internet can help us deal with our government's bureaucratic complex. We can oppose government. We can support government. We can express our views about government policy. We can form opinion about government, our politicians, leaders. So what is it? It gives us freedom. Internet also gives us freedom, right? We can share opinions. We can like, dislike opinions, right? We can form opinions. We can form organizations and fight against government, right? So this makes people strong. We, the electorate, voters, look, if you are a voter, then you can organize with other voters and you can write posts in Facebook supporting government or opposing government, and you can find people who think like you, and you can be together, right? Can follow bills through committee. Suppose parliament is passing a bill. Suppose there is a bill in parliament to control social media. Let's say there's a bill in parliament to control social media. So using internet, you can know what's going on. For example, Sumana Shrestha often publishes what's happening in the parliament through her social media page. And if you are connected to Sumana Shrestha, you will know easily what's going on in the parliament. And you can express support or opposition for that, right? Through debate and correspond directly with our representatives. Look, your representatives have their social media handles. For example, in my area, we have Khanal, Mr. Khanal. What's his name? From Raswapa. Shishir Khanal. Shishir Khanal is the representative from my area, and he is a friend in my friends list. So if I don't like something about Raswapa, I can directly message him. I have access because of internet. So the same you can do, right? You can have a direct connection with the representatives and express your views about how they're dealing in the parliament, right? Ultimately, the internet may help facilitate direct voting. Look, just imagine that there's a bill in the parliament and government wants to know your view. In Kantipur TV, after every evening news, you have Janamat. Have you heard this? This feature in news, at the end of the news or in the middle, they have a section called Janamat. They give a question to you one day before, and you can do SMS voting. And then they will say, 90% people have this opinion, 10% this opinion. So you understand what's going on. In Indian elections recently, they call exit poll. They call exit poll. They do survey. Magazines, television does survey before election. And they make projections. They projected that Congress will win Rajasthan, and Congress was defeated. The projections failed. The media survey failed because media said that BJP will fail in Madhya Pradesh, BJP won. Media said BJP will fail in Chhattisgarh, BJP won. Media said Congress will win in Rajasthan, Congress lost the election. Projections failed because they were biased. So I'm giving example how internet can be used to strengthen democracy. To strengthen democracy, right? On important issues such as taxes, suppose government raises taxes, you don't like, and you oppose. You write, you post your Facebook post opposing it. And government spending. So what is the point? People, the point in this paragraph is, people can control government using internet. That's the point. Whereas in the first paragraph, the point he was making, look the claim in the first. The first paragraph made the point that internet extends the very substantial changes in Western civilization. This was C2, right? C2, claim 2. Now the third C3. The next claim is, C3, third claim, holds the potential of increasing our ability to deal with our own government's bureaucratic complex, which is the greatest threat to individual freedom. C3, claim 3. Most important, the internet will bring comprehensive education to more and more people. Look, fourth claim. Simple example. I'm teaching you right now. I'm recording the class. Afternoon, I'll post on my YouTube channel, and anybody is watching. You have 20 people here, about 600 people are watching it. It's public, right? Anybody from anywhere can watch. Look, access. The best thing about internet is that internet can help spread education. Internet can help spread. I still remember when Amitabh Bachchan was advertising the Idea phone, and there was a scene where there's a student in the village, and the teacher is not there, and a teacher from the city was teaching him through the phone, right? Online teaching. So internet can spread education, right? Marshall McLuhan gave us the startling image of a camel driver listening to a radio in the desert, no longer separated from the rest of the world. Look, when you have a radio, you are in the desert, 1,000 kilometers away from the city, but you are connected. Right? एक्चुअली मैले पढेको थिएँ यो आप्पा शेर्पाको चाहिँ सगरमाथामा चढ्दाखेरि हिमपात भएछ अनि माथि जान नि मिलेन, तल आउन नि मिलेन, अड्किएछ, हिउँमा पुरिएर बसेको रहेछ। अनि के गरी बस्नुभयो यत्रो घन्टा भन्दाखेरि त्यहाँ त कान्तिपुर टिप्दो रहेछ, कान्तिपुर सुनेर बस्या भन्छ उसले। सगरमाथाको बिचमा कान्तिपुर एफएम त्यहाँ पुग्दो रहेछ। अब त कनेक्सन भयो नि, तँलाई अलिकति करेज भयो नि त, न त लोन्ली फिल हुन्छ नि त्यहाँ, हैन? राइट, द्याट्स द पोइन्ट। ओके, so internet connects you with the world, right? Internet connects you with the world and you don't feel lonely. The internet will extend not just communication but a universe of educational experiences to all the remote peoples of the world, right? Even if their remoteness is the result of economic rather than geographical factors, the impact of this spreading education is unpredictable. Look here, when you spread education, it improves economy and it brings more freedom. Don't forget, because education gives you ways to earn money. Education gives you ways to earn money. And when you have money, you are free, right? Money becomes best freedom. Money brings best freedom. The best freedom is money. Because when you have money, you don't have to ask people what to do. You can take a decision, right? So education brings economic change, and economic change brings freedom. Okay, but if history is any example, it will be used to enhance. Oh, can I get a book? There is some, because I scanned this for you from the textbook. There's some problem. Let me use this. Yes. The impact of this spreading education is unpredictable, but if history is any example, it will be used to enhance freedom. So the best thing that internet can do according to Martin is it will enhance freedom. How? Because internet will spread education. And education will bring economic prosperity. And economic prosperity will lead to freedom. So internet will bring freedom, right? This is the opposing view. In arguments, you have a speaker, right? They say something, they speech, right? Then you have hearers who may disagree with you, and they also have to say something. So this is argument, this is counter argument. And do you see David Galanter could not anticipate these things in his essay. In that sense, Galanter's essay is weaker because Galanter forgot these points that computer can bring education around the world and bring freedom. Okay, what's the time? Let me check the time. Can you present in we have 18 minutes. Okay, come. So we have a presenter now who will present the next essay. Come this side. Joe. Wait a minute, I'll give you the sound clip. Could you clip it in the collar? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to present on the topic which I got was Propaganda Techniques in Today's Advertising, written by Anne McClintock. She is a South African writer, feminist scholar, and public intellectual who has published widely on issues of sexuality, race, imperialism, and nationalism. In this article, Propaganda Techniques in Today's Advertising, writer talks about how adults and children are being seduced. It also states that people are being brainwashed by observing the images and information into their subconscious. So what do we mean by propaganda? Propaganda is a systematic effort to influence.
Okay, write the definition on the board.
Propaganda. So it is a systematic effort to influence people's opinion. It is designed to influence or manipulate people. The main purpose of this propaganda is to assure that their messages are being sent. Writer also explains that these propaganda techniques target all generations and are spread throughout the world. There are 7 types of propaganda techniques. Number 1 is name calling. Name calling is negatively words charged at opposing side or competitor. It is a propaganda technique which is designed to discredit opponent, making it easier for people to criticize or destroy their reputation rather than supporting their facts or ideas. Another one is glittering generalities. Glittering generalities surround their product with attractive or slippery words. It is a propaganda technique designed to connect with audience by speaking to the facts or values that are dear to them. Another one is transfer. So transfer improves their product by associating with a symbol that people respect. This technique is for projecting negative or positive qualities, that is blame or praise of a person, entity, subject or value. Another one is plain false. Plain false. Plain folk appeals in a way that they use ordinary people to promote their product or services, showing that how they use it regularly and how they find value in the product. Testimony. Testimony. Testimonial. When respected people or celebrity claims an idea about a product, whether it is good or bad, then that technique is applied to us to buy the product without examining the exact fact about those products. Another one is cart stacking. It is a propaganda technique where an organization may use media to show one side favorably by downplaying the other side. Next one is bandwagon. Bandwagon. This is a common technique where speaker convinces us to accept their point of view. Otherwise, we will miss out on something. For example, if there is trend going on in public, then I may feel that I may miss out on something if I am not following that trend. And the one is So propaganda techniques can
You
input.
missed one, I guess. You didn't talk about plain folks.
Plain folks. So plain folk appeals in a way that they use ordinary people to promote their product or services by showing how they use it every day and how they find value in the product. Since propaganda can send both positive or negative messages, it is in our hand to decide whether we want it or not. Thank you.
Okay. Wait a minute. We need to focus something last paragraph. Why do these techniques work? Let's briefly talk about this thing before she leaves the stage. Why do so many of us buy products, viewpoints and candidates urged on us by propaganda messages? They work because they appeal to our emotions. See the main point. They work because they appeal to our emotions, not our mind. They affect our heart, not the mind, right? Often, in fact, they capitalize on our prejudices and biases. If we are convinced that environmentalists are radicals who want to destroy America's record of industrial growth and progress, then we will applaud the candidate who refers to them as tree huggers. Clear thinking, look here, clear thinking requires hard work. We get cheated because we don't think clearly. Analyzing a claim, researching the fact, examining both sides of an issue, using logic to see the flaws in an argument. This is how you can protect from propaganda. But normally, do you see, we people do not think clearly, right? So we don't analyze people's claim. We don't do any research. We don't examine both sides of the argument. We don't see the issue. We just accept what people are saying, right? Propaganda is so effective, it is important to detect it and understand how it is used so that you won't be cheated. We may conclude after close examination that some propaganda sends truthful, worthwhile message also. Some advertising, for instance, urges us not to drive drunk, right? To become volunteers, to contribute to charity. Even so, we must be aware that propaganda is being used. Otherwise, we have consented to handing over to others our independence of thought and action. If you don't cross-examine propaganda, if you don't protect yourself from propaganda, what will happen? Somebody else will think for you and you won't be a free thinker. Okay. The only feedback I'll give you is, it's all right, you did your best. But what I'm looking for is, when you come to present, you can use this smart board, and I want you to go through the text. And I want you to point in the text what is where. And one more feedback is, your explanation of the concept was not enough. For example, when you explain what is name calling, you didn't tell enough to make people understand. It's all right, you are a student, you are learning, so it's all, I'm glad you did. Give her a big hand. Thank you. I need one thing. You might have appeared, your face might have appeared accidentally somewhere. So I need a permission to publish in YouTube. Is it okay? Say it's okay, vocally.
It's okay.
Okay. Right. Otherwise, I can't publish it. So there is no clock here. We have few minutes. We have 7 minutes, I guess. Okay. Let me use these 7 minutes to begin my class. I'll explain everything. Look, her central claim the writer makes. Americans, adults and children alike are being seduced. This is the central claim she makes. The essay begins with a very clear thesis statement. She clearly states her thesis. Americans are being seduced. What seduce means? One meaning of seduce is have sex. That's not a meaning here. Here meaning is cheated, deceived. Americans are cheated, deceived. They means Americans are being brainwashed. So seduce means brainwash. And few of us, the problem is, we are brainwashed, we are seduced, but we don't oppose, we don't protest. Why? Why we don't protest? Because the seducers means cheaters, the cheaters, the disabled, the thugs, and the brainwashers are the advertisers we willingly invite into our home. How do we invite them? How do we invite? Through TV, through radio, through newspaper. We buy the TV, we watch TV, we buy radio, we listen to radio, we buy newspaper, we read newspaper. So we invite them in our homes, and the cheaters. We are victims. We means Americans. We means Americans, because this essay is by an American and the audience is American. Even eager to be victimized. We are ready to be victimized. See the problem. We read advertisers' propaganda messages in newspapers and magazines. We watch them, we was there, alluring images on television. Look, how do the cheaters? They show us very attractive pictures, right? On TV, we absorb their messages and images into our subconscious. We accept as if they are saying true. We all do it, even those of us who claim to see through. See through means to understand. To understand. Advertisers' tricks and therefore feel immune to advertising charm. So opening paragraph presents major claim, and note down her major claim is this one. right? And in the rest of the paragraph, she tells why that is happening. She says this is happening. Let's mark up to here. This is happening. And he says why this is happening. We are being seduced. We are brainwashed. And why? Because we willingly invite them, right? Advertisers lean heavily on propaganda to sell products, whether the products are a brand of toothpaste, candidates for office, or a particular political view. Look, so here we have the word propaganda. And please understand, in this essay, this is a central word. You must understand the meaning, right? So how do they sell products? They use propaganda, right? So, okay, they use propaganda not only to sell products, they also use propaganda to sell their viewpoint, political viewpoint. What is propaganda? Here definition. Propaganda in a market, a systematic effort to influence people's opinions to win them over to a certain view or side. So what is propaganda? Effort to win people's opinion, shape your opinion, influence opinion, to win over to a certain view or side. For example, there is Congress, there is Communist. So Congress will say follow me, Communist will say follow me, and you don't know whom to follow. Right? We stop here for today.